Fantastic. So again, welcome. Excited to have you all participating in this webinar. Really, our goal tonight is to share with you just what the Community Power Long Island program is all about, why we think this is a no-brainer for you to join, and the benefits that you will be bringing and supporting cleaner energy on Long Island, as well as saving every single month on your PSEG Long Island utility bills. So as for introductions, my name is Jason Kaplan. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Power Market. We're working closely with CPLI and the project to educate and engage and to bring customers and all Long Islanders like yourselves to the community fuel cell project. I am actually right now in my basement in Plainview, Long Island. My kids upstairs are quiet because they're eating lots of Carvel, but I am a native Long Islander. I've grown up here. I grew up in Dix Hills. Now live in Plainview. I could not get away from the place. But really, that's what frankly makes me very excited about being a participant in the CPLI program, because it's really frankly so close to my heart. And all I really want to do is to engage other Long Islanders, and so they can see the benefits as well in participating. My colleague Patricia also lives in Port Washington, raised daughters here on the island. And many of you have probably spoken to Patricia. If you've had the pleasure of starting your enrollment, Patricia may have given you a call, left you a voicemail, maybe even sent you an email. And now you can see her face. So I hope now you can kind of put a name to the face. So as you continue to talk to us about community fuel cells and community power on Long Island, Patricia is likely to be your dedicated point of contact. So really for us, this program just goes beyond the value propositions that I've shared, but again, this is about bringing cleaner energy to our community on Long Island, and frankly, benefiting financially from it. Before I kind of dive too deeply into it, as I shared kind of at the top of the hour, and many of you may have not joined yet, we do want your questions. This is about kind of sharing this information with you. We might talk quickly. Again, I'm from Long Island. I talk very quickly. But at the end of the day, we want to understand kind of what your questions are, kind of what stopped you. If you started enrollment, kind of what gave you pause, why didn't you complete it, so that we can help address those questions and get you comfortable and share with you kind of what this program is all about. So please do use that Q&A function in the Zoom. Send us your questions, any and all questions, and Patricia will be kind of reviewing them and sort of probably interrupting me throughout the webinar to ask them and help me address them. But really, I want to share at a high level kind of what is this sort of community power program generally. It's a relatively new concept here on Long Island, community power, but it's not a new concept across New York State, and in fact across the country. The notion of community energy has been something that has been enabled for the last 5 years in New York State. Now, most times, if you hear about community power, it's really going to be called community solar. And that's just because solar is just sort of the most prevailing, technology type that's used in this program. But fuel cells, which is sort of what the technology is for the CPLI program, is very much, within the same paradigm, within the same program. So if you see something and it says community solar, you can very much take what you've read there and bring it to this community power program. And really, I guess, the fundamentals and the reason why does this program exist, and really the reason it exists is because, well, not many people, or there's many people that can't really put solar on their roof. They can't, whether because they're a renter, or maybe they don't own their property, or maybe they're shading, or maybe they simply don't want solar on the roof, or they couldn't put a wind turbine in their backyard, or they couldn't have a fuel cell on their property. The idea of community energy enables all people within Long Island, within across New York State, to actually participate in this cleaner energy resource and support it without actually having to install anything on their property and save. So really, this notion of community power is sort of truly a democratization of access to cleaner energy, right? There's many reasons. Maybe you're thinking about putting a second story on your home and you're like, I don't want to do anything right now. Or maybe I'm selling my home in 15 years and I'm not sure what the value will be. The idea that you can actually participate in a community power program whereby nothing changes to how you get energy supplied to your home, delivered to your home, nothing's installed on your property, and you can save every month. That's really what this program delivers. And so as part of this webinar, I really want to share with you kind of some of the basics of the CPLI program specifically, but really just wanted to highlight, what this program is and let you know that this is not new. You are not, you're definitely going to be early adopters on Long Island, but community solar is a program that has existed in upstate New York. We're Power Market, and we've managed, hundreds of megawatts and thousands of customers that are participating in this program and have seen those benefits as well. So with that, I want to kind of just share a little more details about really how does this program work. And I think before I kind of talk about it, I think it's really nice to show you about it. And I'm really actually happy because our friends at CPLI, we've put together an awesome animated video that I'd like to share with you so that you can actually see, what this program is. And I want to make sure, Patricia, you can see the video. Fantastic. So this is a video that was just actually developed that is now on the CPLI the Community Power LI website. So by all means, you can jump to the website at your convenience to check it out. But for the next few minutes, I want to share this video, and then we can kind of dive deeper into the details.
Community Power Long Island is a program to easily save Long Islanders money on their electricity bill. It is a New York State community generation project administered by PSEG LI. First, electricity is generated by our community energy project on Long Island. Second, our community fuel cell farm adds electricity to the PSEG LI power grid. We work directly with PSEG LI to connect our fuel cell farm to the local grid. Third, you enroll in a no-cost community powered subscription. Once you sign up, PSEG LI distributes the value of the energy our fuel cell farm puts on the grid in the form of energy credits. Fourth, you reduce your electricity bill. The energy created by our fuel cell farm is converted into energy credits representing real dollars. You pay us 10% less for that energy than you would PSEG. It's that simple.
Sorry, I'm just gonna undo the view screen. So that was a video, really, again, I think just a really simple but very nice video that kind of just speaks to how this program works at a very high level. And if I just sort of just parsed out kind of what was really being said in that video, is that really the way that PSEG Long Island treats your participation in this community power program is actually as if you had something installed on your roof or behind in your backyard, in the sense that for every month that energy is being put into the grid by this community fuel cell project, you are getting a share of that electricity to reduce your PSEG Long Island bill. And then when that energy is being used to reduce your PSEG Long Island bill, PSEG then tells us this is how many kilowatt hours were applied to in this Jason's bill. Here's the value of those kilowatt hours. So my 500 kilowatt hours was valued at $100 this month. And then what we do is then we charge you 90% of that value. So you got this value of $100, reducing your PSEG Long Island bill by $100, and we bill you $90. So essentially, you're paying $90 for $100. You are getting that 10% savings on the value of the credits that were applied to your utility bill. Thereby, you save $10, saving 10% on the value of those credits each and every month. Now, that is kind of how this works. And that is sort of the simple fundamentals of this program. The reason why, I think lots of people love joining this program and why we've seen a lot of traction across New York State is because truly there is no risk. As I shared before, nothing is being installed on your property. There's no disruptions to how you are using energy. No one's coming in, no one's changing any meter. You're not kind of purchasing energy from anybody else. Everything, all supply and delivery of electricity comes still from PSEG, and you'll still get a PSEG bill every month. And we're guaranteeing the savings every single month, no matter what value of the credits that get applied to your bill. We are only charging you 90% of it. So if in one month you got $100 of credits, we charge you $90. If in another month you got $200 of credits, we charge $180. In some extreme where there's literally almost no energy being applied to your bill in one month and you got $1 of credit, we would charge you 90 cents. Now, we hope that doesn't ever happen, but it's just to sort of show the extremes of the point where we're only charging you 90% of the value that you receive. Therefore, you get that guaranteed 10% savings in the value of those credits each and every month. So one thing that I certainly, I know a lot of the marketing that's been done for this program to date has been on Facebook. And certainly when things are done on Facebook, people are very skeptical of them. And frankly, I can appreciate that. But really, there's frankly, unfortunately, no better way of engaging and educating a lot of people at one time than through Facebook. We all, for better or for worse, use Facebook. And so that's kind of the avenue where many of you may have heard of the CPLI program. Sometimes it's maybe through a mailer or through, we've got many affiliate programs that we're doing right now that you might have heard it from. But certainly my objective here for this webinar and our objective here with CPLI is to show you not just the value, but that this is a very real, tangible product that you can enjoy. And the one way I want to do it is to show you like where this project is, right? Someone could say, hey, you can join this thing, but like never tell you where actually this energy is coming from or where it might be located. And so this project is in Melville, off 110, drive down the LIE, get off an exit 48, go south, and you'll hit it. Now the project's not constructed yet. It's in the process of being constructed, but this is a very real project that has been fully financed. It's being fully developed, and really it's being built to benefit the subscribers to the program, but also all those involved. And a lot of people just sometimes, and I know there's a question actually posed in this chat already, is just really like, how does people make money off this? Like, and why, and how does this actually work? And sort of the beauty of this program is that kind of everybody wins, right? So I would say there's three key participants and stakeholders in this program. It's you, so the subscriber. It's it's Community Power Long Island, which is the developer, the owner of the project, and you've got PSEG Long Island. So I guess the easiest one is how do you win, right? And that's obviously in me saying you're getting guaranteed savings every single month. So, all right, great. So then, well, how does Community Power win? Well, Community Power Long Island, they put up capital to develop this project, to build it. And the way that they are obviously getting their return on that investment is by you actually paying 90% of that value. So in some sense, you're helping finance this project, but saving along the way. And so that's why you're having truly a material role in enabling this type of clean energy to exist on Long Island. So I think it's something you can feel really good about. But also you don't have to worry, because Community Power Long Island and everyone else developing community power across New York State, they're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart, which, I mean, certainly part of it is, but also because this is a true opportunity and investment that they're making in the community, and they'll get a return on that investment. Okay, well then how does PSEG Long Island benefit from this? Like why would they accept the fact that you should install it? Well, one, they have to. There's actually state level enabling legislation that requires the utilities to accept these community solar and community power programs within their utility. And also, if you think about it, it actually helps the utility because now they have these distributed resources, these energy generating assets on their grid that can now actually help with congestion, can help with how the grid operates, as opposed to having sort of a large generator somewhere else, and they're trying to bring kind of energy to support all of us. So the more distributed energy we have, the more it benefits PSEG Long Island, the more it benefits us, and certainly by bringing more cleaner energy to Long Island, it certainly benefits the island itself, certainly meeting our renewable portfolio standards and helping our Long Island become a cleaner, greener grid. So that in effect is kind of how everyone wins in this circumstance. And I know sometimes it's sort of hard to conceptualize, like, is that really true? Like, yes, that is kind of why these programs exist. And frankly, the only way that a Clean Power Long Island program can work is that they need you to join. They can't just kind of put a fuel cell project on Long Island and kind of reap those benefits. No, they actually need you to join. And that's kind of why we are running this program and why we want you to benefit from it, so that everyone in that value chain can benefit. Now, Beth, I just saw your question come up, and it's a great question. How do these fuel cells generate energy? So they generate energy by taking a resource like natural gas and other biofuels, and without any combustion, generate energy that gets put onto the grid. So that energy is fundamentally cleaner. It's more sustainable than coal burning power, than anything else. So therefore, we are really excited to be able to bring kind of this cleaner energy to Long Island, and at a fairly high volume of energy. These fuel cells operate 24/7, 365 days a year. So they're generating a lot of energy with a lower kind of environmental impact than you would certainly from a dirtier fuel resource. So Beth, I hope that answers your question. But this is kind of, again, and I appreciate these questions that are coming in, but this is, why we're so excited about this program, is because it really kind of gives people this opportunity to both save and support. And I know sometimes it's a challenge, and I've whether I should be doing this or not, I kind of sometimes dig into the Facebook comments that exist on our kind of ads, and I see the deep skepticism people have, that they think, and I'm going to call it out there, they think this program's a scam. And it couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, it's ironic, because this program is the opposite of a scam, in the sense that it's literally giving people guaranteed savings every month without any cost or risk. And the reason why I can say that confidently, not just because I've dedicated my career to it and I'm here speaking to you all from my basement Long Island, and it would not be in my best interest to be sharing all this and sharing where I am and the work I do if we were trying to perpetrate something like that. But really also, PSEG Long Island on their website has a whole website dedicated to, I know, community solar, but fundamentally it's the exact same thing we're talking about here. NYSERDA, which is the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, which is a quasi-governmental agency in New York that helps support renewable energy and cleaner energy across the state of New York. On their website, you can find a whole website dedicated to community solar, and organizations throughout the state of New York, as well as on Long Island, are joining this program. Just recently, we brought Catholic Charities of Brooklyn and Queens to a community solar program in the Con Ed service territory, because that's where they're located. So that's one of the things that, just as a high level, one of the fundamental limitations that exist is that you can only join a project that is in your utility territory. So if you live in Long Island, obviously you're a PSEG Long Island customer, so you can only join a PSEG project. If you live in Con Ed or have a business in Con Ed, you can join the Con Ed project, National Grid, Central Hudson. So that is just sort of one of the limitations. And I'm seeing, and Patricia, I've got the questions coming up. So I see a question from Steve and Tevin. So Tevin, let me just answer your question super quickly. In Tevin's question, just for everyone, if they can't see it, is just sort of, will you still get a PSEG Long Island bill? And will I get a bill from you? Who do I pay? So you will always be a customer of PSEG Long Island. As I said, nothing will change in the way that you are getting supplied and delivered energy from PSEG. In fact, what I actually want to share with you all is my PSEG bill, because I'm participating in a community power program on Long Island, and I just want to show you what I see. And essentially, when you join this program, now when we talk about giving you the share of the program, that means that we're looking at kind of what's been your last 12 months of energy usage at your home, and then how much of the project should we then dedicate to give you as a share. So in many times, the amount of energy we give you sort of matches or maybe exceeds a little bit kind of what your energy usage is. So ultimately, you will still pay, you'll still get a bill from PSEG. But as you see here, essentially all of the energy that I used in this month, in fact, my share generated more energy than I needed. So I actually put 52 kilowatt hours into the grid. But as you can see here, I'm not being charged at all for energy. I'm just being charged the sort of the flat delivery fee from PSEG Long Island. So that's sort of this instance where, again, all the credits that I've got applied to my bill have met or exceeded, or the kilowatt hours applied to my bill have met or exceeded my usage. Now, there might be months where the kilowatt hours applied to because I decided to get a Tesla, or I put a new hot tub in my house, and all of a sudden my energy usage goes up. Well, and possibly in that month, my energy usage will actually far exceed what my credit is. And so whatever that difference is what I'll pay, PSEG Long Island will say, hey, Jason, you now actually are paying for the energy, the difference. And that's what I'll pay PSEG. So again, in every month, you'll have a bill from PSEG that you'll pay, and you'll have not really a bill from us, but we'll essentially notify you, because when you enroll in our program, we ask you to provide your payment details so that we can quickly and efficiently charge you for the value of those credits. But that said, we are always notifying our customers 7 to 10 days before we charge them for their credits, so that they get an email saying, in this case, Tevin, this month you got 500 kilowatt hours of energy credits on your PSEG bill. Those credits were valued at $100. We're going to be debiting you $90 for the value of your $100. And we're doing that 10 days later. So it gives all of our subscribers ample time to just make sure, oh, do I have sufficient funds in that account? Did my credit card change since I last paid? So that's why we give that. And frankly, we give that time. So just for transparency purposes, we want our subscribers to go and look at their utility bill. Just say, hey, yeah, actually, I do see that I got those credits. And the one thing that I indicated is that you'll actually get two things from PSEG. You'll get your bill as normal, but when you join, you'll get actually a statement credit. And this is kind of what I showed a little bit in my presentation, but just sort of at a high level here. And this is really where PSEG is telling you, here's the kilowatt hours that have been applied to my bill, and here's the value of it. And then what Power Market does is that we're going to bill you 90% of this value. So in this case, on my utility bill, I got $163.60 of value, for which I paid 90% of that. Thereby, I saved in this month $16.36. So I hope that answers that. Evan asked, are there any fees associated with the monthly bill? No. So there's no fee to join this program. The only theoretical fee is really what I just shared, is just the charge for the value of credits. So again, you are never in the red. You are getting this value applied to your bill as a credit. Typically 30 days later, we then bill you for those credits. And the reason why there's that lag is that, frankly, we have to wait for PSEG. And this typically happens on the first of every month. PSEG Long Island will share us a report telling us exactly how many credits and the value of those credits that were applied to each and every one of your bills. And so each and every one of you likely gets billed at different points in the month, right? You might get your bill on the 15th, Steve might get his bill on the 17th, Evan might get his bill on the 23rd. So how that, irrespective of kind of when your bills print, we wait for PSEG Long Island to share with us an Excel spreadsheet that essentially tells us Steve got $100 of credits, Tevin got $50 of credits, Evan got $30 of credits. And then we use that information to then charge you. So that's why there's this lag, is that we're frankly waiting for the data and information from PSEG to ensure that we're billing you correctly for the value that you've already received.
Jason?
Yes.
We have a question from Steve Friedman asking about if you are participating in a program with PSEG whereby they discount your bill based on your load at a particular time of day, and or if you're on balance billing, how does that affect your participation in CPLI?
Steve, that's a really great question. And so as of right now, in our conversation with PSEG Long Island, if you are on balance billing or you are on a time of use rate, unfortunately, this program will not benefit you. And frankly, if you enrolled in a program and you were on that rate, we would actually sort of let you know that you're just not eligible at this time for this program. And because we are aligned with you, we don't want customers that are not going to be saving. And the way that those sort of balance billing and time of use programs work kind of is in conflict with that. Now, there's a solution to it, and it's that you either unenroll from budget billing or you switch back to the standard residential rate with PSEG Long Island, which is the 180 rate class. So there are ways that you can participate in the program, but you would have to sort of change potentially how you're either being billed by PSEG or the rate class for which you are tied to. Awesome. So I just want to share, I'm going to jump back quickly to the presentation here. And so this is kind of the document that I literally just jumped from, that I just highlighted kind of how PSEG represents the credits that I've gotten on my bill, and then obviously what my bill will be from CPLI. I know Tevin just jumped in here. So you're saying that I pay you 9% of the value of your calculated credits, and I pay PSEG any amount over the credits applied. Correct. What happens to any credits above usage? Awesome. Thank you, Tevin, for that question, because those credits are like rollover minutes. So those credits get put on to your bank. And if you saw from my bill quickly, and I'll jump here real quick, this is kind of your example, Tevin, where I actually got more credits than I needed to in this month, actually 52 kilowatt hours. That 52 kilowatt hours gets added to my energy bank. Now my energy bank is like my rollover bank, right? So those 52 kilowatt hours right here get added to sort of my balance of my energy credit bank. And so I started this month with 939 kilowatt hours. I added 52 kilowatt hours to it. So now going forward, I've got a little bank of 991 kilowatt hours. So what that does for me is that if in a month where my usage goes above what my credits are, I have 991 kilowatt hours that I can apply to meet my bill. Now, and we expect that sometimes, over time, people's usage are cyclical, right? Maybe you go to Florida for 3 months of a year and your energy usage is actually a lot lower during those 3 months than the rest of the year. So we can expect that during those 3 months, you'd probably build up a bank. Now, when we see from the data that we get from PSEG that someone's usage is not just sort of cyclical, or it's not just sort of a one-off situation, but something where, I believe we have some people on the webinar who own Teslas. When you own a Tesla and all of a sudden your energy usage goes up, well, that's not just a one-time change. That likely means that your energy usage is going to be much higher going forward. And so what we would do is actually increase your allocation to the project. So we know that, actually you can use more credits on your bill and get more savings, and we want to ensure that. So we increase your allocation. So on the other side of that is, you know what? I just installed all these LED lights in my home. I just went full on energy efficiency. And now my usage, when I first enrolled in the CPLI program, I'm using actually a lot less now, and I'm banking a lot of credits. So what we're going to do is reduce your allocation to sort of meet that. But I want to make sure it's clear is that we are not billing you for those excess credits. We are only billing you that 90% for the credits that actually get applied to your bill. So when I say there's not a risk, I mean that truthfully in the sense that it's up to us at CPLI to manage your credits appropriately, because we obviously want to bill you the most we can for the credits that get applied to your bill. If we're over allocating you and you're getting more and more credits than you can use, well, that's not our benefit, because I can't actually monetize those credits. So that's where we either adjust your allocations or we find a way to understand kind of what the changes in your usages are, so that we can ensure that the credits get applied to your bill. But over the course of a year, again, as I said, we expect there to, credits to be banked on your account. Again, whether it's because you go away for a few months, because just your usage in the wintertime, because you have electric heat, might be greater than you have in the summertime, or vice versa, where you use a lot of air conditioning in the summertime and your energy usage in the wintertime is low. We factor all of that in terms of how we then manage your participation for as long as you're participating.
Jason, we have another question
Yes.
regarding the billing, and this is from Donnie. So he's asking, when he gets his PSE&G bill, should it be close to zero because of the fact that the bill reflects the credits from the fuel cell program?
Yes, the answer would be yes. But that's where, as I've shared, the only thing that we simply don't obviously have control over your energy usage. So what that means is that, in theory, when we first allocate you to the project, we give you that share. We want you to be allocated to reduce your bill over the course of the year 100% of your energy usage. Now, again, I don't control, though. There may be a month or two where you have a blowout Super Bowl party in February and you've got lights and everything going, bonkers, that the credits just won't reduce your bill to zero. But our goal is that they will. Does in a month, will they not completely reduce your bill to zero? Sure. But our goal is to reduce your bill as much as we possibly can on a monthly basis. And again, we're only charging you for the value of the credits that you are receiving. Now, Tevin, with another great follow-up question around that bank concept. Does my bank expire? No. Your bank lives on in perpetuity. And so your credits, your energy bank, will go on and on and on. And from my perspective, we don't necessarily want that. We want you to draw down on that bank, because as I said, every dollar that's in your bank, every kilowatt hour in your bank that's not being used, we're not able to charge you for it. So we want to be able to reduce that bank But to the extent that for whatever reason it's not, that bank will kind of continue to roll over and roll over and roll over. And really until you were to say, CPLI, I don't want to participate anymore, will then those credits be then returned back to CPLI? Because again, we never charge you for those credits. So they get returned back to the host. But otherwise, they live on your account in perpetuity until your energy usage exceeds the credits that are being applied to your bill. I see Donnie also just had a follow-up question, Patricia, around consolidated billing. And it's a great question. So as some of you maybe know on this call, there's this concept of utility consolidated billing, whereby instead of paying for 90% of the credits, that you actually just get this, the 10% savings as a credit on your bill. Now, I wish that we had that on Long Island right now. I know in speaking to LIPA and PSEG Long Island, it is in process. But for this net metering project, unfortunately, I don't expect that the consolidated billing will happen probably for another year, 2 years. So that's also why we need your payment details, right? Because we're charging you for these credits. However, once that kind of consolidated billing comes into play and is implemented, at that point, frankly, we'll never be billing you again. Because as I said, you'll simply see the net credits applied to your bill and not have to pay 90% for the full value of credits applied. And for us, that's also why, we want you to join now, right? This is not, they're just, community power and community solar is not infinite, right? There's only so much, community power that can be developed on Long Island, and there's only so many spots. So we want you to enroll today, so you lock in your participation. I mean, frankly, we want you to tell all your friends and family to join and lock in their participation, because as soon as people truly realize and appreciate what this program is and how, as I said from the top, a no-brainer it is, people are going to join, and there will simply not be room. It'll just be, that's it. The pie is only so big. And so what I would certainly want you to do is obviously join the program. I would love for you to join it tonight. But also once you do, you get a referral code that you can then share with everybody in your network, your friends, your family, anyone that you know that lives on Long Island, and you'll get a $50 credit gift card. And the person you enrolled and had joined will get $50 in a gift card. So we're trying to kind of continue to, bring people to this program, incentivize you, because we know sometimes it's hard to conceptualize that like this, I believe it, but it's hard because it sounds too good to be true. And frankly, that's been the biggest challenge that we have as a business, is convincing people that no, this is actually really good and really true. So with that, I know I see Justin wrote a note here about what type of fuel cell technology is this. So these are Bloom fuel cells. Now, while I like to think I can speak to a lot of things, when we kind of dive into the engineering and technology, that's certainly not my forte. So I would certainly recommend, go to the Community Power LI website, where we do have FAQs around kind of the Bloom fuel cells. But by all means, go to the Bloom Energy website, and you can see a little bit more about how Bloom technology actually works. But again, that's sort of the technology resource that we have here. So thanks, Justin, for that question. Is this done in Florida? Neil, I just saw that question. So no, well, I shouldn't say no unequivocally. There's something in Florida called Florida Power and Light has their own community solar program. Now it just operates very differently than it is here in New York. So if you have a home down there, you can probably look at, Florida Power and Light and see, what that program is. But, I'm not sure the mechanics of it or how similar it is, but this program as a whole is what we like to call state enabled. So every state that has community solar or community power, their state legislature actually passed a law to enable it. So states like New York, Massachusetts, Maine, New Jersey, Maryland, Illinois, Rhode Island, Colorado, Minnesota, all have this enabling legislation. North Dakota, no. Alabama, no. So you definitely see, as you can probably guess, there's a concentration of the states that have community power or in the Northeast. Maybe that's just, how the nature of it has been, but no doubt community solar and community power exists as a program in the Midwest as well. So I see here, Steve has another question for us. Will you average the power usage through PSEG, or will you rely on us to submit our past year's billing? So Steve, great question. No, we are not relying on you. We're going to make your life easy. When we submit your information, because after you enroll, you provide us your utility account number, you sign the subscriber agreement, and give us, authority to ask PSEG for your usage. PSEG then shares with us the last 12 months of your energy usage, and that is then what we use as the basis for what your share should be. So you don't need to do anything. You don't need to, we like sort of if you provide us a utility bill just so we can verify your service address and the name on the account and things like that. But really, I don't need, you don't need to give us 12 months of your last 12 months of PSEG bills.
Jason, there's a question specific to the contract, speaking of contract, and that is, why are we requiring a signing of the contract at this point before the facility is actually live and the program is up and running?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. The best analogy that I have is it's imagining that this is a residential high rise, and we need to fill that high rise, because if there are no tenants in it and no one wants to live there, well, then the project doesn't happen, right? And so it's really important that we have subscribers that are committed to join the program so that we can enable this. Now, if you don't want to sign and you don't want to join, like, I certainly can't, push you to do that, but there are others that will. And so really it's the sense that you're locking in your spot, right? This is, this program is not instant gratification. You signing up today, you're right. You're not going to get credits on your PSEG bill tomorrow, but you are unequivocally securing your place to get 24 plus years of 10% discount on your energy costs, which we work with a lot of different corporates and Fortune 500 organizations. Like, that's a deal that they can never pass up. So really, this is you locking in that opportunity to do so. And part of those requirements, yes, it is providing your payment details. It's signing this agreement so that we know that you're going to be on this program, and we've got confidence so that we can then go out and fill in the rest. If no one provided us their payment details and no one provides us a contract, when that project went live and there was no one actually paid for the credits, that would be a disaster for everybody. So that's kind of why we are asking you to sign the contract and provide those details so that we know that you are committed to this program. Now, the instant gratification that we do have is obviously everyone who joins is given a $50 enrollment bonus. So you have that. And as a special offer that I sort of wanted to share with everyone, whoever would enroll by the end of this week, that's on this webinar, we want to add to that bonus an additional $25 so that you would get an instant gratification, a gift card in the amount of $75 by obviously taking the time and listening to this webinar and participating. We want to thank you for that, but also wanted you to join as well. So Justin Zach, I see here, has a question around how do we make money? So, listen, that's a good question. So when I look at that kind of analogy of a residential high rise, is that, our business, we don't own that asset, but we manage it. And so just like, again, a tenant manager doesn't own the residential high rise, but they manage it, they get paid by the owner of the project. And so similarly to that relationship, we have that relationship with our client and the owner for this. And as it relates to kind of subsidies from the government, I'll be honest, that's a question, Justin, that we'll have to take back. I'm not really sure, what amount or how that works for this project itself, but we're happy to kind of reach back out to you, and Patricia can connect with you on that question. I also wanted to share, again, just to sort of, double down on, who is actually participating in this program today and why you guys can have the confidence that this is very much real. It is very much what we are saying it is. We have one of our earliest champions is the Community Development Corporation of Long Island. And I think their reputation is imputable. They are supporting the growth of affordable housing on Long Island. They're supporting first-time homeowners. And they have shared this program with their employees, with their housing partners, and everyone else. So if you were to go to the CDCLI website, you would see a little banner that actually encouraged people to join this program. And again, I don't think CDCLI would advertise that or champion it if it was anything other than what we've shared as today. The others, I think, sort of that are known to those people on Long Island is, Country Point, Beechwood Homes. They actually have a community solar project at one of their facilities, but they're also a champion of this program. And we're going to be actually doing a campaign with them to bring all of their residents to this program as well. Again, that's sort of this, not that we're trying to create urgency out of nowhere, but listen, we've got some great partners with CDC Long Island, with Country Point, and certainly we recently have been talking to the Tesla Club of Long Island in New York and Long Island to bring their members to to the project, as well as just recently, I didn't have time to add them, but the Presbyterian Church of Mauritius just joined the program and will be engaging their parishioners in joining the program. So again, I really just want to share with you those sort of names so that you can appreciate that, again, it's not just sort of random people that are joining this and people that are uneducated or not aware of what this program is. No, these are very sophisticated individuals and organizations that understand this value and have signed up and championing it to their constituents, members, and parishioners. So Tevin writes here, what's your critical mass of subscribers to move forward to project completion? And also, if there is a 60-day cancellation, what's going to stop people from signing up and then canceling before you go live? So what's a critical mass? There is no critical mass. This project is being developed, Tevin, full stop. And it's our job to educate and engage people to ensure that we are fully subscribed. So that there's not a risk there. And even if theoretically the project, you signed up and it never happened, again, nothing changes. You just didn't pay for credits that you never received. You'd still pay your PSEG Long Island bill just as you always have. So again, there's no risk if the case in that downside scenario, which is very unlikely to happen, this project doesn't move forward, you again have no risk. You also say, hey, there's a 60-day cancellation period. Absolutely right. We want people to feel like this is flexible, right? This is the difference between having solar on your roof and not. This product inherently enables customers to move and actually can bring their subscription with them so long as they move on Long Island. And if something happens, like you actually want to put solar panels on your roof, which we would encourage you to do, you can cancel the program with 60 days and because unfortunately you can't sort of do both. You can't have solar on your roof and participate in this program. But again, that flexibility of that 60-day termination cancellation notice, there's no penalty, there's no fee. Just provide us that notice, because frankly, we need to tell PSEG. We got to say, PSEG, Tevin doesn't want to participate anymore in the program. We're removing him from the schedule. And then PSEG has a process for which then you get removed. And then that's it. And then to say what's stopping people from signing up and then canceling? Nothing. Again, we're expecting the people who are enrolling this program are engaged, that see the value, that want to join because they want to get savings every month. And listen, if things change in their life or they no longer want to participate, that's part of the value proposition. They have that right to do so. Lawrence just shot a note asking if one is on balance building, how far in advance of the fuel cells coming online we have to go off that balance building? Actually, Lawrence, this is a great question. And I think that's one that Patricia and I will want to get back to you on. We'll probably want to talk to PSEG Long Island, just appreciating their timing of kind of how long that process takes to remove yourself from balance billing. But we'll certainly get back to you on that. And I see Donnie shot a note just before about what percentage completion of the plan currently. So right now, this project is over 50% subscribed. So we have been at this now for several months. We've engaged, as I shared, with the partners that we have on this program. And so we are going full steam ahead, and we expect, in the coming months, by the end of the first quarter of this next year, for us to be fully subscribed. And after that, again, if you don't join, then it's like, well, is there now an opportunity? Oh man, I missed out. So that's why we just don't want that to happen. That's why we're doing these webinars, these informational sessions, because we want to share with you this value. We want you to ask all the questions that you have. We want you to share what your concerns are, because we know that this is a program that fundamentally provides you a guaranteed benefit for as long as you want it. And there's no downside to you. But we want you to poke holes in that. Ask us, because ultimately I want to help overcome those concerns so that you can join this program. What construction percent? So Donnie, I'm not sure. Let me, Donnie, on these questions, let us kind of circle up internally. We're happy to kind of, talk to the developer behind the project and kind of get some more information. And Patricia will be happy to get in touch with you and share more details. Awesome. Well, listen, everybody, at the end of the day, like, I didn't want us to go, I mean, I went a lot longer than I thought I was. I know we're kind of on the verge of the holidays, and frankly, I appreciate everyone who attended here and your time, you listening in. What we're going to do after this is we're going to probably send everyone an email, just some more information, certainly around the offer that I made relative to, enrolling by the end of this week, getting that additional bonus. We also have a welcome pack that I think also will help answer some questions and kind of share with that. Certainly, if you got follow-up questions or anything that you want to ask us that we didn't address today, feel free to reach out to us. Patricia, if you want to, and Leland, if you want to put out the support email address in the chat here so people can have it. But also, we obviously, by enrolling, we have your email addresses, so we'll reach out to you as well that you can easily come back to. Tevin, just on the going live, we're expecting at the end of the first quarter, early second quarter of the next year, we expect this project to be operational. Now, again, we live in a world right now where supply chain issues are happening and there's delays here and there. So I don't want to sort of, give a date certain, but we're certainly expecting sometime in the mid of 2022 for this project to be operational. But again, our role is to ensure that when you enroll in the program, we're going to keep you informed and educated. And if things change, we'll always let you know. Awesome. Well, again, guys, I really appreciate the time that you all spent on this. I really hope you go and complete your enrollment, or for those who haven't started yet, going to communitypowerli.com and starting your enrollment. We're here again for any questions. You can schedule a call with Patricia to have a one-on-one conversation if you like. But with that, again, have a great night. Thank you so much for listening, and we're excited for you to be a participant in our Community Power Long Island program. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.